What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. So we are back at it today. It's the afternoon. We're kind of taking it easy, but if you've been following along, we got the Bago working pretty well. I need to go scout some locations and stuff this weekend. We'll see if we can get that thing completed, and then we'll I got some other stuff, so I think we might order some parts and things tonight for that, so we'll keep on rolling on that. And then we just got back from the track with this guy working on 60-foot hits, and I have to send a big shout out and thank you to my buddy Ryan Jans over from Florida Torque Converter, Tampa Bay Performance. So he specs all my converters, builds them all, and then he also helps me with transmissions. He's the man when it comes to all that stuff. He immediately watched a video and was like, yeah dude, I gotta give you a call, you're doing it all wrong. So he donated some of his time to me, and we kind of went over things, so I have a much better idea of what I'm actually trying to do versus just trying to sneak up on stuff. So that's apparently not how you do it. Essentially, you got to hit it with your purse is what I found out. So next time at the track, we're going to be swinging, coming off the line instead of, putting. So we'll see how that works. Anyway, I'll explain it better if things actually work out in my favor. But I am a novice, and I'm just taking his advice, and then we're going to put it to the test and put it to work. And I'm sure he's correct. It's whether or not I can actually do it properly. Which also brings me to a good point of ordering stuff from the little guy and the local guy and supporting small business. I know you hear over and over people always rant and rave and talk about it, and everybody goes to Summit and order stuff. Don't get me wrong, I've ordered plenty of my fair share of stuff from Summit in the past, but now that I work with the guys from War and guys like Ryan who spec converters and actually are able to answer questions and do things, the phenomenal part about these businesses and supporting these things, even if it's a coffee shop, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't have to be car stuff. There's people there that run those things. They're not a big conglomerate. Summit's always going to get business. They're always going to be in business. If you order some stuff over here and then you get some stuff from Summit, or even if you just quit ordering from Summit altogether, there's so many people on the planet that are going to order from them that they're not going to suffer at all, right? But a guy like Ryan, he used some of his time today to explain things to me. He didn't have to. He did it because he's a homie, for one, but for two, it's also his passion. It's what he enjoys. He likes helping people. That's why he's in the race business and making parts and doing these things, because he understands it and he enjoys it, and then he's sharing knowledge. You can't buy a converter from Summit and call them up and say, hey, this thing's not working, what am I doing, right? Or Summit's not going to watch your video and go, hey Dane, this is Summit and we saw that you bought these parts and you're obviously not doing stuff properly. So that goes a long way. And the margins, again, aren't really that great. So when you're paying price, you're like, oh, that's too much, I can get it $5 cheaper. You're 100% correct, you can. But just remember, when you save that $5, when you got to go ask somebody and talk to people, if you spend the money, you spend a couple bucks, those people are going to be way more apt, and they're going to have the time because they'll have food on their table, and they can go, hey, I can spare a couple minutes. This guy's a good customer. He's always, he doesn't hassle me and bitch and want the cheapest rock bottom price on the whole planet. And trust me, we are all on some sort of a budget. Not everybody's made of money, but we all have to save up. I have to save up to buy the parts and the things that I want. That's why I chose not to go to Kentucky, because it's life choices, right? So you can't have everything. You can't have your cake and eat it too, but keep the small guys in business. I'll get off my soapbox now, but trust me, I'm a small business too. The stuff that I do, I'm not some big conglomerate, but people can reach out and touch me and ask me questions, and they can see the things I'm doing, and I can help. And you end up giving a lot of your time away. And I just watched a video with Happel and yeah, hello helicopter, and the tuning guys, and then those guys get bombarded on the internet and all that stuff. But again, you can buy and use all the Holley products you want. You're not going to call Holley. They might give you some troubleshooting advice and stuff like that. They're not going to tell you how to run your car and how to set it up. They have no idea, right? They don't know what you put it in. They don't know any of that stuff. But if you work with the tuner and you work with these people, they know a bit more about how to utilize the stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm getting at. So that's it. That's my lecture for today. The thing we're going to get on to, now that if you stuck around, if you didn't cancel the video and flipped over to the next one, ow. So this rod here is the reason I couldn't install my window net. So I've already got this crimped all nice, and then it goes to this little tab. So this guy is ready to hold the net in place, except this is too tall to slide to the bottom of the net. This guy's shorter, but he doesn't fit. And then this is already welded on the cage. So I really don't want to do any welding on the cage. So I wanted to utilize this tab And then this guy's already set, and this thing's crimped. You know, I figure, so this is kind of a pain in the ass. So the only side I could really mess with was this side, right? So we can cut that off, and then I gotta figure out how to attach this to here, but be able to slide this through the net and then attach it and then do it in a safe manner. So I had a buddy reach out to me, and he had a piece that looked like it would work, and then he's like kind of on the way to Irwindale, and it just didn't kind of work out. But I was like, you know what, I just want to check McFadendale. So I had some time this afternoon. I went over after I was done screwing around here, and let's see where I put my stuff. It's over here. So I picked up this. I think this is going to do the trick. Let's just throw it down right here. Be fancy, right? Ta-da! So this is actually a forged piece. Yeah, I know it's not the prettiest thing, but what I was thinking I could do is we could drill this dog out, right? So that rod will slide in like so, and then we will pin it. Problem solved. I thought about tapping it, right? So I could thread that rod and then just thread this on. I don't want to deal with all that. I'd rather throw this in the drill press and just open it so the rod can slide in. I'll just do a nice tight fit, and then I could throw it back on the drill press and then punch a hole through this with the rod in place where I want it. And then we have a little bit of length here, so we'll have to run the rod and see where it goes. But I think I'd like to leave the rod kind of long for safety as well, in case this came out or whatever. You know, it's not right at the end, so it could flop out of there. It would have some room to slide back and forth, and that'll give it additional strength, because this will basically hold it. So even if the pin fell out, if it's long enough, it has some room to wiggle in there, and it's not going to come out. Not like this pin's going to fall out, but hell, you never know. And we're dealing with safety. And then they had one a little smaller that looked a lot nicer, and I could have drilled it all out, but it wouldn't have left a lot of meat here, and then it would have been thinner here, and it was more compact, so it would look better in the car. But I was like, you know what, I just want, this thing just needs to stay on. I'm not going to get too picky about how it looks. I'd rather have the meat and potatoes there, so when S hits the fan, this thing will stay in place. And I didn't skimp because I want something that looked a little better, right? So this thing's forged, it should be good to go. And then, like I said, I don't have to weld on it or do nothing, so we should just drill it out, slide the rod in, get my measurement, and then I think what I'll do is I'll drill this first, and then we'll get the rod where we want it, and then we can just use this as our guide, instead of trying to drill on two different round things. So that's the plan, and we're winging it as we go. So I have no idea if it's gonna work, but in my brain it seems pretty straightforward and like a good idea. So that's what we're gonna do, and then let me mess with it, and I'll bring you back, and I'll let you know if it was successful or if it did not work. We cut the tab off, and then we come over here to the drill bit station. Let's find out. I think it's 3/8. Where we at? No. Bingo. Let's see if it fit there. Oh, no. So I'm gonna say 25/64. You know, a little bit loose. So we'll go 3/8. I want a nice fit. Let's go over here to our drill bits. And where are we at? Get low on the 3/8, guys, huh? Alright, so thank you for shopping. So yes, if you're wondering, you're not supposed to hold stuff in a drill press because it will wrap you up and it will rip your hair out and arms off and all that fun stuff. This one happens to be super weak and the belts are really loose. Probably not a good idea, so you should have like an actual vise or a way to mount it up. But we're just gonna grab this thing and have at it. And if it starts spinning in circles, we'll let go, right? So this is where the comment section gets fun. Have at it, boys. See? Told you. Ta-da! Okay, so let's see if this thing fits. Ooh, like a glove, right? So the next thing I'm gonna do is put a hole through the clevis. So I think what I'll do is I'll shave it down a little bit so it's flat. So I should be able to punch a hole. I'll use this, dude. We'll start it, and then I gotta find out the size of the pin. So let me grab the pin. We'll go back to the drill bit store and figure out the size of that. We'll chuck it up. I'll punch a hole in that. I won't bother you guys with drilling more holes. And we'll take it over to the car and we'll get sizing width-wise, because this clevis added like 2 inches. 2 inches plus, depending, you know, give or take. So let me get all that done. We'll size it up. We'll cut the end of this off, and then we will pin this using the clevis hole to keep the drill bit from slipping on the radius. That's my plan. Stick to it. Here we go. I think that's a pretty simple solution to the problem. So I still have length in here, but all in all it's cool. The only thing I don't really like is because this is wide, see how much it'll move around and see how close that is to like the steering wheel. So I'm gonna have to definitely space this thing out. I wonder if I could even put like heat on the end of this thing or something and just give one of those so that way it stays out here so it's not annoying. But let's punch a hole in it and we'll pin it. So I'll mark this, we'll cut it. I'll leave a little bit of length. I mean, I could damn near just pin it where it is, but I think we'll cut the end off a little bit so it's not touching. I don't know if that matters or not, but I'll make a decision. Like I said, I think we'll whack a little bit of this off, that way it doesn't have a problem articulating, so it's not riding on the end of this. And then I will mark this, pin it to win it, and then we will space it, or I'll figure that out, and I'll bring you guys back, and then we'll sit in it, and I'll get inside and we'll try to put the net on. I tentatively tried and it wasn't that bad from the inside, but I'm new to this whole game, so we'll sit in it and see how it is, trying to put everything in while I'm sitting in the seat, and we'll see how claustrophobic I get with the net in my face. I think our little strategy worked good. And then I've done enough fab work over the years that I had this little spacer. I actually had several of them, so it helped a bit. You know, it's still kind of traveling. So let's jump inside and then we'll put it up from the inside, and then we'll give you guys a look at the struggle. So we'll put you on the dash or somewhere you can see, and then I'll climb in here and see if I can fasten it. All right, here we go. So we have this in. Oh no. So bring the end up. And this guy. Yeah, so that'll work. So then you find it back here. And this little flippy guy goes through there, like so. And that is it. So, yeah, I mean, its job is to hold your arms in. You know, if that hits a fan, you're doing one of these. But I will say it's a little annoying. And then if you're trying to whip the wheel, you know, to have this thing here, like if stuff hit the fan, that's annoying too. I almost wonder. I almost wonder if you just give a little bend so it bends towards the door. Move my door shot. Let's see how. Yeah, I almost wonder if I could just kind of bend the bottom of this over. Yeah, safety is it's a major concern. You need to have it. You need to do it. I understand it, but yeah, you can see like if I'm sitting here. But again, the whole point is so your arm and head don't go through the window. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna give up a little bit of your freedom for safety. The other thing too, I guess when I made this, because I made it this length, but even if I made it shorter, the rod is still, you know, right here, but I don't have a lot of distance between these guys. So I'm almost wondering if I could just bend this guy, like bend it that way, so when you put it up, it's as close to the door as possible. So I'll mess with that. I think I could just put a bend in that rod. I don't think that's against the rules. And then I just want it as far away from me as possible. But ultimately, when stuff hits fan, I want to do something with this too. I want to make it like easy to grab, this little red handle. I mean, you can see it there, but you can see, like, if you had gloves on and, you know, you're on fire, like Ricky Bobby, or bad things are happening, because that's the only time you want to exit as fast as possible. I want this easy to grab. So you just grab it like that, but I'm gonna make some sort of handle. We'll make it bigger and kind of more accessible. So I mean, I could basically do it if my eyes were closed, so I would know that I'm touching that thing and just yank on it. So you pull it down and then bring that forward, and then this all falls down, right? And then we're out of the car. Like so. Hopefully much faster than that. But then you have your gear on and your stuff, and so you're like a robot. It's not as easy because you're not nimble, but we will kind of practice that stuff, I think, when we have gear on at a certain point, when we start going fast. But we are getting fast, I'm not gonna lie. I think the car is moving pretty quick. Obviously I wouldn't need a window net if we weren't, but I'm happy with how it's turned out. I think that works. Oh look, sticking out. So I'm gonna pull that thing and then rattle can it black so it doesn't rust up. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of that solution, if it was a slick solution or not. But I think it works. It works for what we had to do. I don't have to modify the net. We're good to go. So the window net is installed. And then I have a list of safety stuff. We gotta get pants. I gotta get one of those little neck donuts. So I gotta go visit DJ and see what the situation is over there and order that stuff up. And then I need a catch pan. So I have an engine diaper, but I'm like, it adds more heat, and I already have a diaper on the transmission for now. So I think we're gonna build a catch pan so that way that we can still get the airflow. So I think that'll be the next fab thing on this guy. Then after that, it's just the license and a cage cert. And then once we run 150, I'll talk to DJ when I go there too about a shoot, kind of what the ballpark is on one of those things. I know we're gonna need it, and then I know people get made fun of for hanging shoots on cars that don't need them, but I figure 143 is pretty damn fast. If you got sideways 143, I would not feel like I was not being a hero pulling a chute to straighten up. So we will work on that as well. And then this thing, we're gonna keep working on it. We're gonna keep working on 60-foot hits. I'm thoroughly enjoying how it's coming along. And I want you guys all remember though too, this is a street car. This is a drag and drive car. So we're not looking to be the fastest guy at all the tracks. We gotta be consistent. We gotta know where she runs so we can put it in the class that it does well at. And then it's on me to keep it tuned and keep the suspension working properly and to keep this thing happy so we can rip off those 10-0s or, you know, 9 whatevers or whatever it runs, so we can be consistent and competitive across the country, not just at my local track. So that is the goal, and I'm excited because I can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I hope you guys are enjoying the ride too. I hope you're learning. So I'm learning a bunch, man. I feel like I know this much. So keep it locked. Till next time, I'm out.